Good morning, student. Welcome back in this class. I hope you are healthy and safe at your home. This is the class 9, subject social science, and today we are going to discuss chapter number 5 of civics. And the topic name is working of institution, and this is the lecture 4. This is a summary lecture. In this lecture, we will recapitulate all important topic of this chapter. Student, in this chapter, we have already discussed about the different organs of the government such as legislative, executive and judiciary. So student, let's start, and today we will cover some topic. Firstly, we will discuss about major institution. And major institutions such as the organ of the government, and after that we will discuss about the decision maker. President, prime minister and the parliament are the decision maker. And after that we will discuss about Mandal Commission report, and they provided 27% reservation. And after that we will discuss about need of political institution for a development of the country. And after that parliament, and parliament has the final authority to take major decision. And after that we will discuss about executive, and it includes political executive and permanent executive. And after that we will discuss about prime minister and the role of the prime minister and the power of the prime minister. And after that we will discuss about role of president, because president is the head of the state. And after that we will discuss about judiciary, and they resolve all dispute between citizen to the government and the government to the state government to different state government. And after that we will discuss about some question I have assigned in previous lecture. So student, let's start. And firstly we will discuss about the major institution. Student, our country is a democratic country, and in a democratic country we need some institutions such as legislative, executive and judiciary. And student, legislative work means to make laws for the country, and it includes parliaments, and parliament exists president, Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha. And the president is the first citizen of the country, and include Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha, means in the people or houses of the people and the council of state. And after that we will discuss about executive. Executive, they implement the laws, and it includes prime minister and the cabinet ministers, and they implement all major decision and policy in the country. And after that, last organs is judiciary. Judiciary, it includes court system, such as it includes Supreme Court, High Court and lower court, and they resolve all dispute between citizen to citizen, citizen to government and government to the state government. So student, these are three major institutions of our country, and they maintain order, and they form some policies and laws for the country. So next, government order. Student, government order means, and government order, it is also called office memorandum, and a government order is written direction on an issue signed by a government authority. It is called an office memorandum. And Government of India and the Department of Personnel and Training, they issued such a government order after the approval of the president. So it is called government order. And after that, the decision maker. Student, in a democratic country, most of the person, they decide some policies and decision for the country, and it includes president. President, he is the first citizen of the country, and he is the head of the state, and he is the highest formal authority in the country, and he is indirectly elected. And the current president is Shri Ramnath Kovind, and vice president Shri Venkaiah Naidu. And after that we will discuss our prime minister. Prime minister, he is the head of the government, and actually all major decisions taken by the prime minister, and he takes most of the decision in the cabinet meeting with the help of the cabinet minister. And the current Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi, and they take major decision for the country because he is the head of the government. And Parliament, it includes such a president and the two houses, Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha. Lok Sabha it is called lower house and the Rajya Sabha it is called upper house, and it is also called Lok Sabha Houses of the People, and Rajya Sabha it is called Council of State. So students, these are the major decision maker for the country. And after that we will discuss about the Mandal Commission report. Student, government issues some order for the benefit of the people. And in 1979, the government of India has appointed the second backward class commission in 1979, and the head of Mandal Commission was B.P. Mandal. And the main purpose of the Mandal Commission to provide reservation to second backward and educationally backward person in 27% reservation in government job for the socially and educationally backward classes. So the Mandal Commission has formed in 1979 by the head of B.P. Mandal. And they wanted to provide equality for the scheduled castes and the scheduled tribes. And after that, on 6th August 1990, a formal decision for implementation of the Mandal Commission report was taken by the cabinet of the Janata Dal and the government under the leadership of V.P. Singh. During the year of 1990, and the V.P. Singh became the Prime Minister of India. On 6th August 1990, he implemented an order for the 27% reservation have provided to the scheduled castes and scheduled tribes. And the Prime Minister informed both the houses of the Parliament about the decision. And the decision of the cabinet was sent to the Department of Personnel and Training. And they issued government order, it is called Office Memorandum by the Department of Personnel and Training. So it was called Mandal Commission. And after that we will discuss about in a democratic country we need a political institution, because political institution such as government has provided the security, they provide us education, health, and it collects taxes and make laws. And in a political institution such as the Prime Minister and the cabinet are the institution that take all important policy decision. They take major decision in a cabinet meeting. And the civil servants such as IS officer and the IPS officer, means first rank officer, they working together are responsible for taking steps to implement the minister decision. And the Supreme Court, means the judiciary system, is an institution where dispute between citizen and the government are finally settled. So in a democratic country, to maintain peace and to maintain law and order, we need a political institution, because political institution provides us some rule and regulation. Next, need of parliament. In a democratic country, we need a parliament, and in India, we also say that parliament is called Sansad, and the Russian parliament is called Duma, and the Germany parliament is called Reichstag. And the parliament is the final authority for making new laws and changing existing law in India. And you know, student, parliament is an elected assembly, elected representative. It is called parliament, and parliament is the final authority for making new laws and changing existing law in India. And in India, the control of parliament over the government is direct and full, and we must follow the rule and regulation of the parliament. And those who run the government can take decision only as long as they enjoy support of the parliament. I mean, the ruling party can take decision with the support of the parliament. And parliament controls all the money matter of the government. And in the most country, the public money cannot be spent only when the parliament sanction it, means after the approval of the president and the member of Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha, government can spend that money. So in a democratic country, we need a parliament, because parliament has the supreme power to take a major decision for the country. Because it provides some limitation on the minister. It can check the work of the minister, and the parliament can seek any information at any matter at any time. So in a democratic country, we need a parliament. And after that, parliament has two houses, Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha, and houses, it is also called the chamber. Student, Lok Sabha means house of the people, because it's directly elected by the people and exercise the real power on the behalf of the people. Student, Lok Sabha, total Lok Sabha strength is 545. 543 are elected and 2 are nominated by the president. And the tenure and the time period of Lok Sabha, it is 5 years. It is temporary house. The Lok Sabha and Vidhan Sabha can be dissolved. And the student, the speaker preside over the meeting of the Lok Sabha, means the control of the Lok Sabha is in the hand of speaker. And the current speaker in India, Shri Om Birla, they maintain discipline in the Lok Sabha. And Rajya Sabha, it is called Council of State, and it is also called Upper Chamber, because it is indirectly elected and perform special functions such as interest of various state, region and federal units. And the Rajya Sabha member elected by the elected member of the state legislative assembly. So it is indirectly elected, and the tenure of the Rajya Sabha, it is 6 years. It is a permanent house, and the chairman of the Rajya Sabha, they preside over the meeting. And the current Rajya Sabha chairman, Shri Venkaiah Naidu, and he is vice president of India. So 2 houses of parliament are very important, and because the major decision taken in Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha member. And the special power, student, we can say that Lok Sabha has the more power than the Rajya Sabha, because any ordinary law needs to be passed by both the houses. But if there is any differences, there is a difference opinion and view between the 2 houses member, and the final decision is taken in a joint session, and where the view of Lok Sabha is likely to prevail because of the larger number of members, because in Lok Sabha, the majority of the MPs, and the final decision has taken by the Lok Sabha member, and the final decision can be approval by the Lok Sabha member, because due to the majority of the Lok Sabha members. So we can say that Lok Sabha has the more power than the Rajya Sabha. And second, Lok Sabha exercise more power in money matter. Once the Lok Sabha passes the budget of the government or any other money related law or money bill, for Rajya Sabha cannot reject it. Means the Lok Sabha approval money matter, they can approval the money bills, but Rajya Sabha cannot reject the approval of the Lok Sabha, and the Rajya Sabha can only delay it by 14 days or to suggest to change it. But for Lok Sabha may or may not accept this changes. Means the money bill pass after the approval of Lok Sabha. So we can say that Lok Sabha has the more power than the Rajya Sabha in money matter. And they give only 14 days. The 14 days for Rajya Sabha to if you want to change any in money bill, so they give response in 14 days. And after the 14 days, the Lok Sabha may or may not accept the decision of the Rajya Sabha. Next, student. So this is the part of legislative has completed, and after that we will discuss about political executive. Student, executive means those person who execute the and implement the laws and policies of the legislative. And executive includes Prime Minister and the Cabinet Minister. And executive have two types: political executive and permanent executive. Political executive means such as the ministers, because the ministers are elected by the people for a specific period and they take major decision. And all political leader, all minister are included in this category because they have more power than the permanent executive. This is because the political executive is elected by the people in a democracy. Will of people is supreme, because permanent executive is more important than the permanent executive, because political executive are elected by the people, okay, and they work according to the wishes of the people, because in a democracy people wishes is supreme and they work according to the people needs. So we can say that permanent executive is not powerful than the political executive, and they can take advice of permanent executive and they decide the overall framework and objective of the policy to be implemented. Means political executive means the minister can take advice of the permanent executive, because permanent executive are more educated and more knowledgeable of this subject, and then decide the overall and after the final decision taken by the political executive, and they decide the overall framework and objective of the policy to be implemented after the discussion with the permanent executive. And after that, permanent executive means it includes civil servant such as IAS officer and IPS officer. And permanent executive, they are appointed on a long-term basis. Persons working at permanent executive in civil services are known as civil servants. And they work under political executive and assist them for carrying out daily administration. They can provide some guidelines, they provide some information to their minister. And permanent executive are more educated and they have more knowledgeable on the subject of ministry, and they remain in office when the ruling party change. Means they have permanent job and they remain in office even when the ruling party change. So permanent executive are less powerful than the political executive. So this is the part of executive, permanent and political executive. And after that we will discuss about the prime minister. And prime minister also part of the executive. And you know student, the prime minister is the head of the government and actually exercise all the government power. And it is the most important political institution in the country because he take major decision with the help of the cabinet minister in the cabinet meeting. And the current prime minister Shri Narendra Singh Modi, and the prime minister is free to choose minister as long as they are the member of a parliament after the discussion of the president. And prime minister, he take most of the different decision in the cabinet meeting, and he coordinate the work of different departments, and he can check the work of the different minister. And the main head of the government is prime minister. And after that we will discuss about Council of Minister. Council of Minister means all minister includes in the Council of Minister. And the Council of Minister, it is the official name for the body that includes all the minister. And it is usually 60 to 80 minister of different ranks, different departments. And it includes cabinet minister, such as cabinet minister who are usually top level leader of the ruling party. And you know, the head of the ruling party is the prime minister, and the cabinet minister who are the usually top level leader of the ruling party, who are in charge of the major minister. And cabinet is the inner ring of the council minister. And you know, such cabinet ministers such as Om Birla is the Speaker of the Lok Sabha, and the Om Birla preside the Lok Sabha. And some cabinet ministers such as Defense Minister Shri Rajnath Singh, and the External Affairs Shri Subramanyam Jaishankar, and the Home Affairs Minister such as Amit Shah, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman, and the Minister of Road and Transport Nitin Gadkari, and the Minister of Agriculture, Rural Development and Panchayat Raj Shri Narendra Singh Tomar. So it includes 20 ministers included in cabinet minister. They take decision on their own department. And after that we will discuss about Minister of State. Minister of State with independent charges are usually in charge of smaller minister. It includes the smaller minister, and they participate in the cabinet meeting only when specially invited. And it includes Minister of State with independent charges. And the Minister of State are attached to and required to assist cabinet minister. They work under the cabinet minister, such as the Minister of Punjab, Minister of Haryana, Minister of UP. They work under the, and they provide some information to the cabinet minister. So this is the Council of Minister. It includes cabinet minister, independent minister, and the Minister of State. And after that we discuss about President. President is the first citizen of the country, and he is the head of the state. And in our political system, the head of the state exercises only nominal power, and the president supervises the overall functioning of all political institutions in the country. And he is indirectly elected by the member of parliament and the member of legislative assembly after every 5 years. And he has only nominal power, but the president can check and supervise overall the function of all political institutions. And power of the president: all government activity take place in the name of the president, and all laws and major policy decision of the government are issued in her name. Means all major decisions taken by the president, and the major policy decision can be implemented after the approval of the president. And all international, means foreign treaty and the agreement are made in the name of the president, because president is the first citizen of the country. And after that, and the president is the supreme commander of the defense forces of India. And defense force such as the army, he is the head of the army, air force and navy. So we can say that he is the head of the state. And some limitation on the power of the president, because he can exercise all these power only on the advice of the Council of Ministers. He cannot take all decision on their behalf. He can discuss with the Council of Ministers, such as the cabinet minister, Okay, and the president can ask the council of minister to reconsider its advice, but if the same advice is given again, the president is bound to act according to it. Means they work according to the council of minister. And similarly, a bill passed by the parliament becomes a law only the approval of the president. If the president wants, he can delay this for some time and send the bill back to the parliament for reconsideration. But if the parliament passes the bill again, the president has to sign it. Means the president has to sign it. Means after the approval of the parliament, they can send to the president, and president then sign in money bill. So some limitation on the power of the president. They can work only after the advice of the council of ministers. And next, the last organ of the government, judiciary, and it includes court system, Supreme Court, High Court and Lower Court. As student, judiciary refers to an institution empowered to administration justice and provide a mechanism for the resolution of legal dispute. All the court at different level in a country put together are called the judiciary. All court system include the judiciary because they provide a mechanism for the resolution of a legal dispute between citizen to citizen, between citizen to government, between government to and the other state government. So all disputes are resolved by the judiciary. And the Indian judiciary consists of a Supreme Court for the entire nation, and the High Court and subordinate court in the state and district court, and the courts at the local level and the local adalat. But in our country, judiciary have 3 level: Supreme Court, High Court and local, means district court, such as it is called lok adalat. And India has an integrated and unified judiciary because it means the Supreme Court control all the judicial administration in the country. All major decision, all main decision taken by the Supreme Court, and all High Court and local court, its decision are binding on all other courts of the country. Means High Court and local court, they take decision on the behalf of the Supreme Court. So we can say that in India has an integrated and unified judiciary system. An appointment of judges of Supreme Court and the High Court. And the judges of the Supreme Court and the High Court are appointed by the President on the advice of the Prime Minister and in consultation with the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. And after the advice of Supreme Court judge and the President and the Prime Minister, the judge of Supreme Court has appointed, and the senior judge of the Supreme Court select the new judge of the Supreme Court and the High Court. And there is a little scope of interference by the political executive. Means minister have little scope to interfere in the selection of judges, but the senior most judges of the Supreme Court is usually appointed the Chief Justice of the country. So all major decision taken by the President, Prime Minister and the Chief Justice of Supreme Court. Next, removal of a judge of Supreme Court and High Court. Some step has taken to remove the judge of Supreme Court. First, once a person is appointed as judge of Supreme Court or High Court, it is nearly impossible to remove him or her from that position. And it is difficult as removing the President of India, such as because he work as independent, and it is impossible to remove judge from the judge of Supreme Court and the High Court. But a judge can be removed only by an impeachment motion passed separately by the 2/3 member of the two houses. When the member of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha they agree, the judge can be removed. And impeachment means it is a procedure through which judge of the Supreme Court and the High Court are removed. It is called impeachment. When the 2/3 member are agree with the removal of the judge, then the judge of High Court and Supreme Court can be removed from their post. And it has never happened in the history of Indian democracy. It is not happened in our Indian history. And student, judiciary in our country, judicial has the highest authority because the power and the independence of the Indian judiciary allow it to act as the guardian of the fundamental right. Because constitution provide us fundamental right, and judiciary system protect our fundamental rights. And anyone can, if a person is rich or poor, they can approach in the court if the public interest is hurt by the action of the government, and it is called public interest litigation. Because in a democratic country we have the right of PIL. PIL means the public interest litigation. Anyone can approach in the Supreme Court and they can appeal in the Supreme Court if any laws and any right violation by the government. And the court intervene to prevent the misuse the government power to make a decision. When the government they misuse their power, then the Supreme Court and the High Court intervene the prevent of the misuse of the government, and they check malpractice on the part of the public official. So we can say that judiciary enjoy a high level of confidence among the people, because only judiciary have provided some protection of fundamental rights of all citizens. So we are confident with the work of the judiciary. So we can appeal in Supreme Court. So student, these are the three organs of the government, such as legislative, executive and judiciary. Next, today your homework solution. Student, question number first. How many members are nominated in the Rajya Sabha by the President? Answer is 12 members are nominated in Rajya Sabha by the President. Question number second. How is the President of India elected? First point, the President is not elected directly by the people. It is indirectly elected. And point second, all the members of Parliament means MPs and the member of the State Legislative Assembly elect the President. And third, a candidate contesting for the President post has to get a majority of votes to win the elections. So this is the process of selection of a President. Question number third. What is public interest litigation and what is its importance? Answer. Anyone can approach the court if public interest is hurt by the action of the government. This is called the public interest litigation, and the court intervene to prevent the misuse of the government power to make decision, and they check the malpractice on the part of the public official. So it is called public interest litigation. Question number 4. Enlist the power of the President. And answer. All government activities take place in the name of the President. And point second. All law and major policy decisions of the government are issued in her name. Question third, all international treaties means all international deal and agreements are made in the name of the President. and the president is the supreme commander of the defense forces of India. And all major appointments are made in the name of the president, such as the major appointment, president, the prime minister, and the chief justice of India are appointed by the president. Question number 5. How is Indian judiciary unified? Explain. Answer. All the courts had at different level in a country put together are called the judiciary, and the Indian judiciary consists of Supreme Court for the entire nation and High Court and the subordinate court in the states and district court and the court at the local level and Lok Adalats. And India has an integrated or unified judiciary in the following ways. First, it means the Supreme Court control the judicial administration in the country. Its decisions are binding on all other courts of the country. And second, it is the highest court of appeal in civil and criminal cases. It can hear appeal against the decision of the high courts. And third point, the judges of the Supreme Court and the High Court are appointed by the President on the advice of the Prime Minister and in consultation with the Chief Justice of India of the Supreme Court. Question number 6. Who appoint the Chief Justice of India? Answer. And the other judges. And the answer is the President of India appoints the Chief Justice of India, and the President consults other judges of the Supreme Court and the High Courts while making appointments of other judges. Question number 7. Enlist the differences between Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha. And answer is Lok Sabha. First is they are directly elected by the adult citizen, means above the age of 18 years. The tenure is 5 years and there are 545 members, 543 are elected and 2 nominated. It is more powerful. This is a temporary house and money bill can only be passed in Lok Sabha. Rajya Sabha. They are elected by the elected member of state legislative assemblies, and the tenure is low. Is Rajya Sabha is 6 years, but one third of person its member retire after every 2 years, and there are 245 members, but they cannot have more than 250 members in future. It is less powerful. This is a permanent house, and they cannot pass money bill. And student, today your homework: revise chapter 5 of civics, topic working of institution, and solve assignment. And solve assignment in your fair notebook, and revise and make notes of this chapter in your fair notebook. Thank you.